Herefordshire. Calm. Peaceful. Tranquil. Serene. A beautiful spring day. Completely uninterrupted. Wait, is that a racetrack? Quiet. Nothing can disturb this calm. What a fantastic start to spring. Warm. Green. Peace. Well, what we've actually got is another karting event with a bunch of overly competitive, sweaty, but definitely this heat at least anyway, karters ranging from pretty good to far too good, very experienced. First of all, do drop a like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. What we're going to do is run through some lessons we learned. Lap times mean nothing if the following: A, it's your first time at the track; B, lady luck just isn't on your side; or C, you lose your head through frustration; or D, all three things of those happen. So we're going to run through the heat results first and foremost, and why we actually get those results, the reasons. Yep, we're starting in practice. Things don't get off to a great start. The fist bump with Tom is probably the only positive thing that actually happens in practice. I'm not going to show you all the incidents, there are a few, but I'm probably just going to show you the most egregious out of all of them. To be brutally honest, most things were probably at least partly my fault. But when you're in the heat of the moment, and you know how it is when you get hyper competitive, you don't see things that way, you just see yourself as the one that's done dirty too. This track is an absolute roller coaster as well. Not only are our results a roller coaster, and you'll see that throughout the day, this track's amazing. Great start. You could probably argue he wasn't just aware that I was there. Like, to be honest, you could look around a little bit more, but it is what it is. I probably shouldn't have stuck it up the inside. Yeah. Heat 1 doesn't go amazingly well. So we started on a low in practice. That low is going to continue. We're just going to skip into the reasons why.
Where people have got no awareness. Right, let's go.
And we're off to another bad start because we completely missed the lights going from red to green. I was too busy whinging and bitching about what had happened to me already in practice. Should have stayed a lot more focused. As I was saying, this track is absolutely unbelievable. Honestly, Herefordshire Raceway, can't thank you enough for putting this event on alongside Brad Philpott. It was excellent. Great track. Love to go back. Yeah, that guy was one of the people that we came together with in practice as well. Well, when I say came together with, we got T-boned by him. And now we're just dropping paces. So the guy that's just in front of us is Lucian. Now we're mates with Lucian, we get along well with him. He hasn't done anything to us. But the two guys in front of him are the two people that we had probably the biggest incidents with in practice. really frustrating thing is, and like I was saying in one of the lessons about lap times don't matter, is we actually did have decent pace. We were about 7/10 off the fastest person, and then the fastest people were A fair bit lighter than us, and B, they were quite experienced karters and also experienced this track. So for a first attempt and first time here, we actually got on pace pretty well. Nick's just been completely squeezed out there. Again, my hand gesture points out to the guy that's done it. Lucian, big send up the inside there. That's a really good move, and he gets it done. He gets it sealed off, and that's the main thing really here, that we weren't able to do that well early on in the day. When we got past someone, we weren't able to kind of close the chapter on it and move forward. Some of that was due to frustration, some of that was just due to making silly mistakes, again probably due to frustration. And now Lucian can just concentrate on moving forward. All that fighting's left an absolutely massive gap as well, and that's a bit of a theme as well, is the fighting that we do, because we don't get the deal sealed straight away, we end up leaving big gaps, and it's a big mountain to climb to try and make ground up. Yep, hit again. Anyway, let's close this one out. Let's move on to the next heat, because surely things only get better, right? Yeah. No, that's down 9 spots, in case you didn't see it. So we're starting on pole position. It was 3 heats each, and you got a randomly generated grid spot. Randomly generated grid spot each time we've been hit already. So again, that I managed to drag myself out of the mood that I was in from the first race a little bit. That hit starts the downward spiral pretty much straight away. So 3 heats, random starting order each time. You average out roughly the same over the course of the 3 heats, and you get points for your finishing position. Much better start this time. Still not the greatest reaction, but when I check behind me in a second, I'll realise that actually our reaction was slightly better than most people behind. We've actually got a half decent gap going over the bridge just here. Look at the way you have to take that apex on the exit and going under the bridge as well. Also, fantastic corners. Really, really fast turn 1. Honestly, it's just a great track. For something so short, it's great. We're actually struggling for grip with this car. Pace wasn't too bad, but grip was awful. Could be a combination of cold tyres and a bit of dirt on the tyres, or anything in between. But trying to push from moment 1, it just wasn't having it. There's also absolutely no point in fighting these two. The guy that passed me first was one of the fastest people there, and this guy just next to me here, he's so much lighter than me for a start, but also he is actually really quick, and you see me gesture to him and say, just crack on, just go, I'm not going to fight you. So we've just got to see if we just follow these guys. There's absolutely no way we're going to be able to overtake them, so in my head I'm thinking straight away, we'll just follow them, we'll just see how close we can stick to them, and hopefully they can drag me along to a better result than we've had so far. Again, just struggling for grip with this car. Now got to defend the inside, which we managed to do, and yeah, in avoiding the spin, we've actually got ourselves beached. We've got to let the entire grid go by us. Gesturing to the marshal to try and get a push out, which he does. He runs over straight away and gives us a push, but I mean, look at the gap. Don't even know how many seconds that is, but realistically, that's an absolute write-off for this heat as well.
can't get any worse than last time. It can't. The last two. Can't.
The reason why it can't get any worse is because we're starting last. So realistically, there's only one direction we can go. Well, I mean, I guess we could stay where we are, but surely luck's got to be on our side this time in a better way than previously. I actually thought my reaction was pretty reasonable to the lights, but the car just didn't seem to go anywhere. That was probably a bit of an ambitious move, but one thing I'll say about this car is it has decent pace. It definitely has decent pace. So we've got to do everything we can to take advantage of that. I will say as well, though, that the parity between the carts was pretty good. We saw them testing them before we actually got into the day. So they obviously do what they can to make sure that they are as close as they can. Clearly my frustration hasn't quite simmered down just yet. When you're frustrated, you just don't make good decisions. You don't go for the right moves, but then you don't go for moves that you could have gone for. Like it's literally just a snowball effect. Bit of lunge down the inside there to try and put Nick off and get him to have a poor exit, which he does. But already, look at the gaps. Gaps to the car in front, but then the gap after that again is just absolutely massive. And that's what I'm talking about having poor decision making, having the wrong battles, the wrong fights, the wrong time, rather than potentially A, working together, or B, just making the move stick.
Oh, come on.
So all I can do at this point is just get my head down and just try and chip away at things. This car has got really good mid and top end and decent grip overall as well. You see what I mean about Lady Luck sometimes just not being on your side. Even when you've got an opportunity to capitalise on someone's mistake, I just couldn't keep things tight enough to the inside to be able to get up the inside there and end up nudging that person and then losing even more time, even though we did manage to get past them. So we're going to skip a few laps ahead because this is quite a gap to try and chase down. But as you can see, a couple of laps later, we are a fair old bit closer. As I say, this car was pretty decent. And we were managing to shake the cobwebs and take advantage of things now. Start to take advantage of the good car that we've got. And chip away the cars in front. Finally, that's job done on that one as well. But again, look at the gap. That's an absolute mountain to climb. Each of these heats was only 8 minutes, which is about 16 laps, but honestly, it flies. So all we can do now is get a head down and try and get a fast lap in. we were chipping away, and look at how close we finished to the guy that was up the road from us. Just not enough time. That's a 34.616, which was about 7/10 off the fastest lap time. About 7/10 off the fastest lap time, which is pretty respectable for a first attempt there. The fastest people were either, you know, ridiculously experienced karters, you know, people that enter championships pretty consistently, etc., or just very experienced at this track, or a combination of the two. Let's roll ourselves into the final.
Work together. Work together, yeah?
So the points scored from each of the heats basically left us in the B final, which you'd probably expect from what you've seen, and also left us quite far back. We are going to have in the top right hand corner a POV from Tom, who was also in this race. Let's see how he gets on and some of the frustrations that he faces as well, getting stuck behind people, possibly not driving his best race. He's a quick guy normally. This final's absolutely action-packed, so I'm going to shut up and leave you to watch this in peace.
Oh my God!
And there we go. All that fighting again. Look, can't even see the guy in first, but that's got us all the way up from P8 to P2. Absolutely awesome drive. Everything we needed just to finish the day up on a high. So we skip across the final 3 laps. This is onto the last lap, and I was looking how far ahead the guy was in P1, and I thought I might be chipping away at it, but there just wasn't enough time left. So that's the end to the event. Definitely not the results we would have wanted, but we definitely ended on a high. P2 in final B, can't argue with that. Did everything we could and all but matched my fastest lap from the previous race as well. So massive thanks to Brad Philpott, Herefordshire Raceway, for putting on this event. It was honestly awesome. This track is fantastic. Beautiful day for it as well. Setting some great scenery. Not a lot to complain about really, other than my results at the start. So lesson to everyone, get out your own head, get out your own way. Don't let frustration get the better of you. And just enjoy for karting for what it is. On to the next one.